Hey there, so today I'm going to share a tutorial about how to meal plan, how to meal prep, how to work out which nutritional system is best for you. I'm going to show you where the resources are, as well as at the end, I'm going to actually share, if you're following Portion Fix, how to actually put your own meal plan together. So without further ado, I'm going to launch into I'm going to share my screen and take you through the various resources at your fingertips. Before I do share my screen, I just want to say how important nutrition is. A lot of us shun it, and if you're not getting the results you want with either your weight management or your energy levels, nutrition is absolutely key. It's absolutely true. Abs are formed in the gym but revealed in the kitchen. If your abs are covered by a layer of fat, you're not going to see them no matter how strong they are. So nutrition really is so important, not just for how you look, but how you feel. It's where you get your energy from. You get lifetime access to both of our nutritional systems. They both get the same results in slightly different ways. I will go over that in more detail in a little while. When you are feeding your body using food as fuel, you won't get the cravings. You won't get the late night needs of snacking and stuff. You'll have the energy. Food should be fun. There are so many conflicting theories out there about removing food groups, and this is bad and that's bad. You don't need to be removing food groups. Yes, you want to be cutting back on refined sugars and processed foods, but they're not necessarily foods either. They're fake things that have been made that we have a habit of eating. Also remember, you're not a remote controlled toy. We all have control over what we're doing here, what we're eating and drinking. When you follow the nutritional systems, you'll learn all about the mindset around your food choices. So without further ado, I am going to share my screen with you. I'm just going to reduce this a little too. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen and I've got the various parameters set up for you. Okay, right, you should see Beachbody On Demand here. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just in the app at the moment. If you've not yet downloaded Beachbody On Demand app on your phone, I highly recommend you do. It's a really interactive way of tracking your workouts, tracking your Shakeology, your water. It tells you which containers you can use for Portion Fix. It even gives you grocery lists. Everything is on that app, and so when you're out and about shopping, it just makes it super easy to help you stay on track with vegetable options, etc., etc. The whole point really is that you would have created a grocery list before you go shopping, and so you know exactly what you need to get. Meal planning and meal prepping is going to save you time. Ultimately, it's going to save you money, it's going to reduce waste, and it's going to get you results faster. So I'm going to go into programs first, because I want you to see the basic nutrition guide that everyone gets access to. So if I pop into 4 Weeks for Everybody, you can see here under the nutrition tab, you can move across here. There's the quick start nutrition guide. Have a look at that. It's a basic overview of everything that is going to support you on your journey. I'm not going to go through this in any great detail. I want you to have a look at this. It's going to give you a good starting point to get the results that you want to get. What I do want to show you is, if you scroll down quite a bit, you get access to masses and masses of recipes. I'm also going to share, well, you have access also to, I will share more recipe resources with you, but you also have access to the Fixate cookbook, which is, it's got loads and loads of recipes, and you have a link to that in our group. Let me just whiz down here. Getting there in a minute. Come on. So here we go. So it's all listed under various meals. So if you're short of breakfast ideas, take a look here. There's all sorts of different things that you can have. And obviously, you know, that goes through and through and through into lunches, dinners, and snacks, and Shakeology recipes. So have a look at that. It's obviously that you can, if I just come out of that a second, where have we gone? Oops, sorry. So that was in the nutrition. So you'll find that it might be under the getting started or the program materials in another workout program, but essentially everyone has access to the quick start nutrition guide. And then here's an introduction to Portion Fix. I'm going to go now, rather than hanging around within a program, I want to show you the nutrition center on Beachbody On Demand, which is really where you're going to find everything that you need to know about nutrition. If I go to nutrition and then nutrition programs, and here it's going to go over what you have access to. To be pregnant is an add-on, as is the 4-week gut protocol. That is an add-on, unless you bought the total solution pack like I did. That is the 4-week gut protocol solution pack, which includes 4 weeks for everybody and all the other stuff that you get. So you get 2B mindset, portion fix, 1 year of workouts, etc., etc. There is a specific pack for that. So if you think, oh, I didn't get it when it was newly launched, but you still want it, still save a lot by getting the 4-week gut protocol. It's a gut healing system. To be mindset and portion fix are nutritional systems. To be pregnant is going to give you and your baby, you're building the baby that you're building, everything that you need nutritionally to have a safe, healthy, and energized pregnancy. So that is where you can find that on the nutrition system. I'm just going to pop back. I just want to show you, if we go down to programs as well, another way that you can come to all this. If you scroll down, here is the nutrition center. So here we have, gut protocol, the introduction to nutrition, and then to be mindset on its own, portion fix on its own. There is additional resources on body for both portion fix and to be mindset and to be pregnant. They give you various updates. The trainers, the creators go in there and do live shows and give you even more information. And then you also have access, everyone has access to the Fixate cooking show. Here we have the mindset menu. So we've got more menus from 2B mindset, Shakeology recipes, the ultimate reset. That is like as a detoxification program. If you've sort of got to the stage where you think, I actually need a full reset, this is an excellent program to get. This tells you more about the Beachbody performance line and obviously Shakeology here. So I'm just going to go back to, I want to show you Fixate as well, because this is a great resource, as well as the Beachbody blog, for various recipe ideas. It's all video based, so it's really easy. They're very, very short videos. You can pop in here and have a look at, click on those. They're like 3 minutes long. We've also got the resources here, and you can pop down there and it gives you all sorts of different recipes there, which you can actually download if you want to. So I'm not going to spend too much time with Fixate, but everyone has access to that. So I really suggest you have a good look through Fixate. So now we're going to go to the introduction to nutrition. This is going to provide you with a video to help you decide which of the 2 programs you want to follow. Do you want to follow portion fix, which is the containers? When you've got a total solution pack, you will have had these containers that come in that total solution pack. Or do you want to follow 2B mindset? They both get the same results in slightly different ways. So you can see it's really short videos. Have a quick look through these videos and then decide which one is going to be best for you. Once you've decided which one is the best for you, then you can pop into this. You can say, click on portion fix. And this is where you start. So you want to watch the fast track to fix, because this is going to go over the principles for you so that you understand absolutely everything that you need to know about portion fix. And then you would move through. So then you'd go through the lessons. So custom fix for example, is if you want to follow timed nutrition. Timed nutrition is, you get amazing results with timed nutrition. Essentially, you use the performance line around your workout, and you're tending to eat the majority of your carbs before your workout, and then it's sort of a protein-based meal after your workout to help with the muscle rebuild and the muscle regeneration. If you're following a carb cycling plan, so for instance, you might have a bikini competition coming up, or you want to get super buff for your beach holiday, carb cycling is going to help you really shred out those last few pounds. Obviously, pre and postnatal fix. So if you're pregnant, it's got a fix for that. Vegan and vegetarian. Have a look at this intermittent fasting, kids fix, etc., etc. If you've got kids at home, have a look at this video too. And of course, a fix for everything. So this helps you cope with or manage problematic or potentially problematic situations. So what how do you manage to go out for dinner and not sort of eat everything that you didn't really want to eat before you got there? How do you go on holiday and manage to come back not weighing 3 stones heavier, that sort of thing? So that is where you will find the information for Portion Fix. It also, the total solution pack also comes with, because some people just wanted to get the nutritional program without all the workouts. Portion Fix also does come with the 21-day fix real time and 21-day fix extreme real time. So people who bought this particular bundle only got access to those workouts. So that's why you see those workouts there. And then here you've got program materials, how to calculate your calorie bracket. That's really important so that you know which plan you need to be on. So which you follow plan A, B, C, D, E, or F, depending on your current weight and how much weight you want to lose. And you're not going to really use the scales very often with Portion Fix. However, you're going to need to, you need a starting point. So you need to take your before and after photos, you need to weigh yourself. And this helps you work out what your calorie target is, depending on the sort of level of the workout that you're doing as well. This gives you the containers that you have in each plan. So for instance, I'm normally plan B. So I get 4 greens, 3 purples, 4 reds, 3 yellows, etc., etc. Greens are veggies, purples are fruits, reds are proteins, yellows are carbs, blues healthy fats, orange seeds and dressings, and teaspoon is oils and nut butters. Okay, so that just goes through all of those for you. Let me just go back to here. Freebies and substitutions, because things like spices are all freebies. I wouldn't get caught up too much with this, but for instance, if you're having a very milky coffee every day with syrup in it and you're thinking, I'm not losing weight, that's why. What we drink often has more calories in it than what we eat. And then you have a 7-day sample meal plan here and a 7-day vegan sample meal plan here. I'll just click on that. It is so informative. You can change these things up. This one is based on plan A. If I click down on plan B, it tells you here how many containers you're allowed to have every single day. And then it also tells you sort of ideas for vegetables, fruits and proteins, etc., etc., and what your free foods are. Meal plan for C, etc. So, these are just basic meal plans that you can use as prompts for various meals. The Fixate cookbook, let me just see if I can quickly get that up for you. Have I got it here? Fixate recipes ebook. Here we are. I'm just going to download that for you. You also have access to this. It's there's a link to it in our files section. This, for each recipe, there is the container equivalent. So it helps you know, if you're following this, it helps you then work out how many containers you need to, account for on your daily allowance. Okay. So you can have a look through that. And there are loads and loads of recipes in there. They're all Portion Fix friendly. It's obviously tagged with 80-Day Obsession. This is part and parcel of the resources that came with the 80-Day Obsession program. And so it's just a really good way of getting some healthy options and knowing what container equivalents they have. So I'm going to come off that for the moment. Let me go back to Ultimate Portion Fix. Now, the next thing I just want to show you is 21-Day Fix. The program has actually got an editable tally sheet. So if you pop back to programs here, and you can search it up here if you want to, or you can just go through, but I'm going to do 21-Day Fix. And I'm just going to show you where that editable tally sheet is. Okay, so we'll go to 21-Day Fix Real Time, go to Program Materials, Nutrition. And this is all really helpful stuff as well. Very similar to what you get in the resources for Portion Fix that I've just shown you. You've got a 3-day quick fix if you need to drop a few pounds quickly. You can have a look at that. And this is the editable tally sheet. So you can pop this up on your screen. It tells you, it gives you here an example. You can work out which plan you're in. But here, then you can you list how many greens you're allowed. So I'm allowed 4, 3 of those. So you can actually type them in. I think I'm allowed 3. 1, 1, 4. And so then I could work out my meal 1 of the day. Have I got any greens in it? Have I got any proteins in it? So I might have a protein, I might have a carb, I might have a healthy fat. Meal 2, it's probably going to have greens in it. It might have some fruit, it might have a protein. And so you can see as the day goes on here, I'm already thinking, okay, so I've got to meal 3, I might have 2 proteins there. So I've used up all my proteins for that day. Okay, and so it's a really easy way of you working out how many containers you've used, how many you've got left to use. Like I said, on the Beachbody app on your phone, you also have an interactive way of doing it, tracking your containers. It's more intuitive than this is. I highly suggest you use it. Explore the nutritional section on your app. It's going to really help you stay on top of your containers that you've had and the containers that you still have to eat on that particular day. When you first look at the containers, when you get them, you might think, oh my gosh, they're tiny. You're allowed several of them, and you'll find that you probably eat more through the day following the container system, or indeed 2B mindset, than ever you did before. So it's up to you really to decide which of the nutritional systems you would want to use. So now I want to sort of explain, just go over a few tips with you before I actually put together, the program, to show you how I put together a meal plan. Firstly, shall I just stop the share for a second? Stop the share. Okay, so I'm back. If you are struggling to get your final results, bear in mind that if you eat things like tuna in spring water has got much fewer calories than tuna in vegetable oil, sunflower oil. So it might be that you need to tweak the way you're buying your food. Even if you drain the oil really carefully out of the tuna, oil is still going to count as a fat. So if you're struggling to get rid of those last few pounds, be really conscious of buying it either in brine or in water, spring water. Secondly, what I would suggest you do is do a weekly tidy up of your fridge so that you see what needs to be finished off. You've got a really good idea of what's in there, and you may have meals in there that you've forgotten about. Once you start meal prepping and meal planning, there'll be days you might have created 5 lunches. I've actually got I've put a document together for you of salad mason jars. It's got 5 different salads that you can make in a mason jar. It includes the dressing and everything. It's done in such a way that the salad doesn't go soggy. I will share that with you in a little while. But you might then suddenly be caught out one day and you stay out and you don't have that lunch. So make sure that, if you're checking your fridge on a weekly basis, you'll see that, oh, there's a mason jar that I didn't eat. Well, rather than letting it go to waste, you can then, maybe make 4 the next week rather than five that you would normally do. So just stay in touch with what's going on in your fridge. Herbs, when I buy herbs, I tend to prepare them as soon as I get them home, particularly if there's a bulk bag of herbs on offer, or I've grown a lot in my greenhouse or my garden and I need to sort of prepare them before they start to go beyond their best. What I do is I wash them, I let them dry. So if you've got an Arga, you could put them on top of the Arga and let them dry on there. You can hang them in your kitchen, you can hang them in your airing cupboard. There's a couple of ways of preparing herbs. Sometimes if it's things like coriander, what's coriander? Cilantro in the States, in Canada, you can just literally dry off the leaves, let them dry out, and then I actually just put them in a freezer bag. And then when I need to use them, I don't chop them up or anything. When I need to use them, I literally just grab a little bit off it, and then it breaks up really quickly and really easily into the dish that you want to prepare. Things like basil, dill, you can do the same. They break off very easily. The other way to do it is use one of those mini food processors and blitz it, and then you could fill ice cube trays with the various herbs, and then put them in your deep freeze, take them out of the ice cube tray once they're frozen. I do the same with ginger actually, and garlic, and you can also do the same with onions. You can buy larger ice cube trays these days as well, so maybe get the smaller ones for the herbs and the bigger ones for things like the onions. And then I just take it out of the ice cube trays, put them in a bag, and then I've got quick access to flavor some healthy herbs and spices, rather than thinking, oh, now I've got to go and grate some ginger, I've got to peel it. It's so much easier if you just do it in one fell swoop. Another thing with things like onions, what you can do is, again, either chop them all up small, put them into a mini whizzer, so you sort of chops them up quite chunky, or you could even do a micro food processor, so you sort of mulch it more. Put them in lay a freezer bag flat, put them in a freezer bag, sort of flatten it all out, and then using your hand, create little divisions in them. So you make like squares of onions, carefully put that into the deep freeze, and then it's so easy. Once they're frozen, all you need to do then is pretty much snap them off, and you've got like a little square of already prepared diced onions for when you need it in your meals. Also, you can use mason jars to store your herbs. So for instance, if you've got like dill or coriander and you've chopped it up, you've washed it, it's dried, chop it up, and then you can layer it in a mason jar, and to divide it up into portions. Say, for example, dill, put some dill in the mason jar, put a layer of baking parchment on it, put another layer of dill on, put another layer of baking parchment on, another layer of dill, another layer of baking parchment. And that way you can build up several servings of fresh herbs. And mason jars, they look lovely, but they store really well in the deep freeze as well. They're more environmentally friendly. They're really good value. You can buy them in bulk off Amazon. They look lovely in your kitchen as storage containers if you decide you don't want to freeze your herbs anymore, but you want to put something else in them. I use mason jars to store my dried chickpeas and pasta and all sorts of stuff, like lentils. I actually have them out because I think they look lovely. And you don't run the risk of leaching plastic into your food. A lot of the plastics these days are BPA free, but you do still need to be mindful of the fact that it is plastic. So it depends on your eco credentials. I'm not saying one way is right or wrong, but I think mason jars make a really great way of storing food. So that's sort of gone over a few sort of quick tips and strategies that you can use to make life easy. Like I said, I will share the salad mason jars with you in a moment. But firstly, what I want to do is I'm going to now go and help you build a meal plan. So I'm going to share my screen again. Is it that screen? Yeah, okay, so I just need to move my control bar. Come on, control bar. There we are. So I'm assuming I'm on plan B, okay? This is one I've created in my Canva. This really is just to help you see how I do it. If you want this template, if you use Canva, you're more than welcome to have this. Just message me and I'll send it to you so that you can edit your own version. So I've started with chicken breast. I think it's easiest to work out what your proteins are first for your main meals. This is based on plan B. So here it's got my 4 reds, my 4 greens, my 3 purples, 3 carbs, healthy fats, nuts, seeds, and oils and nut butters here. Okay. So I always start with my proteins. And proteins are one of my most important aspects of my food. So for dinner, for instance, I'm going to add chicken breast for that. For my breakfast, I'm just going to copy and paste this and then change that to Greek yogurt. And I'm also going to, let me have a think what I might have for lunch. I might then have cottage cheese, which is also a protein, because I love cottage cheese on either like Ryvita or toast with tomatoes sliced on top of it. Also, your Shakeology is a protein, so I'm just going to copy that. Shakeology always counts as a protein. Shakeology is the only one that we really count. Recover and Energize, they form part of your workout program, and so technically they are free meal aspect. You don't count them in your meal, unless sometimes, you know, often they say have a piece of fruit when you have Recover. Obviously you would count that piece of fruit as one as your purples. So you can see I've used my 4 reds already. Okay, so next one, I'm going to use my carbs, my yellows. The other something I do want to mention to you, you might be thinking, great, I can fit loads of rice, dried rice, in one of those yellow containers. It's the cooked carbs, not the raw carbs, so just be aware of that. Obviously cooked rice, you can fit a lot less cooked rice in a yellow container than you can the dried version. Unfortunately, it's the dried version, it's the cooked version that we have to put into the yellow carbs containers. So for breakfast, I tend to eat, I'm just going to copy that because it's the right font, and I'm going to make it yellow. I tend to eat oats. I love oats. So oats are a carb. I'm going to turn them yellowish, yellow. It doesn't, can't really see it very well, but hopefully it'll be all right. Maybe I can make that a bit brighter. Just see if I can make it stand out a bit more. We'll just have to go with that color. Sorry, it's not very clear. So that is one of my carbs. So I've got 2 carbs left. So what would my other carb be? Okay, so my next one is going to be my toast, or my bread, or my Ryvita that I would have my cottage cheese on for lunch. So I'm going to just say Ryvita, and then I would have a carb for my dinner, because I like to have a carb at dinner. Obviously not a huge carb, but I do think it's a nice addition, and I would probably have sweet potato. So, and it was obviously going to be quite a small sweet potato. When you're thinking about something like a potato, yes, you can, you can't, it's hard to fit a potato into one of those containers. So you've got to kind of imagine what it would look like if it was all crushed down. So, you know, obviously it's not going to be a massive potato, but you don't feel, if you can't fit your sweet potato in, that it's too big. Imagine what it would look like crushed down in that yellow container. So now I've used my 3 yellows, so they're done. So now I'm going to move on to my greens, because these are the containers that really, really matter. We need to be making sure that we're eating enough of our greens. So I'm going to have a look at what greens have I got. Most of my greens are actually going to happen later on during the day. So I'm going to just copy Ryvita and then turn it into a green. Come on. Let's make that nice bright green color. Okay, and I'm going to turn that into tomatoes. Lovely. And then I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to turn that into, so there's 1 green, and then I'm going to have maybe asparagus and broccoli for my dinner. And so that's 3 of my greens taken. And then with my Shakeology, I normally add frozen cauliflower into it, because you can't taste the cauliflower, but it gets another green in, and it gives it a nice creamy consistency with your Shakeology. So now I've had my 4 greens. So you can see how it's all building up really nicely. I would also, so now I'm going to move on to my purples, which are the fruit. So I'm going to add a fruit. I'm going to change that now to purple. It takes a bit of time to do this, but I just hope it makes it more understandable for you, because I'm, you know, it's all the right color, so you can, it sort of corresponds with the containers a bit more easily. So I might put berries. Now bear in mind the purple containers are quite large, so that's going to be a lot of berries. So that would probably be half a container. I'll leave it for 1 container at the moment, because for ease, but just bear in mind the that a full container of berries is going to be quite a lot of berries. I'm also going to have berries on my breakfast, on my oats. I always have blueberries and sometimes other berries as well. So you can, it doesn't matter, you can be a combination of berries, whatever you like. So now I've had 2 of my containers. So where am I going to put my 3rd berries? It could be anywhere, to be quite honest. I might have a pre-workout meal. If I'm really hungry before I've done my workout, I tend to have a brunch. I don't normally have a breakfast. My breakfast is my brunch. And then quite often I'll have my Shakeology as a late lunch. This might actually be the snack. I might sort of mix those over, but I'm just doing this to sort of give you a good idea of how most people normally eat. I tend to just have a big brunch, a big evening meal, and then a healthy snack, which is my Shakeology, sort of halfway through, early afternoon. But sometimes if I'm hungry before I do my workout, I will have a scoop of almond butter, and I will also have half a banana. Half a banana is one of those purple, although, you know, you're thinking, oh, I could fit like 3 bananas in there if I crush them all up. No, half a banana is what your allowance is if you're counting it as a purple, just because they contain quite a lot of natural sugar. Bananas are brilliant for us. Don't steer away from bananas. but just remember they are quite high in sugar. So you're looking at, as a fruit portion, it is half a banana. Berries are one of the best types of fruits that you can eat. So a citrus. I actually cook a lot with citrus. In fact, I'm going to add my third fruit here because I cook with citrus loads, whether it's chicken, fish. I'm just going to add it there. So I'm going to put limes, lemons. So that would, I use the juice, and I also normally slice them up, and I use the zest. So that's what I would probably add with my dinner. So now, so you can see I've done my proteins, I've done my veggies, I've done my fruits, I've done my carbs. So the blue, I would normally have that as half an avocado. It's a healthy fat. I love avocado. So I'm going to copy that and turn that blue and turn it into an avocado. Sorry, I've sort of run out of space, but I just want to make it clear for you. Blue, there we go, avocado. And it would be half an avocado. That blue container is quite small. It's like avocado crushed up. So it's around about between quarter and half an avocado. And then the teaspoons are various nut butters. Teaspoons are like oils, and sorry, I've missed my orange one. Orange ones are like seeds. I often have seeds on my cereals. I love seeds on my cereals. So that's probably where I'd put that. Or granola, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to put seeds there and turn that orange. Okay, and then I've got my 4 teaspoons, which are like oils and things like that. I would use these while I'm cooking. So you know, I'd use 2 for my meal. I'd probably do garlic butter. I often bake my chicken breast in like a packet surrounded by garlic butter. That's really, really tasty. I might add a teaspoon of nut butter into my Shakeology. Again, almond butter. I love that. And then the other teaspoon, not entirely sure where that would come from. Now, milk counts as a protein, I think, just off the top. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, it depends, actually. Dairy milk is a protein. Oat milk, like I drink, is a carb because it comes from oats. So when you're looking at this, you're thinking, so that would mean you've got double the amount of carbs on here. Because I'm having Greek yogurt, I would water it down with water, and I would use that as like my milk on my oats with the blueberries and seeds. I also scatter a little bit of Shakeology on it. I always keep a bit of vanilla Shakeology. I keep an open sachet of vanilla Shakeology, and I always scatter that on top of my cereals as well. Another really healthy breakfast, just while you're on it, because people ask me all the time, what do I have for breakfast? This is one of my favorites. I also have my daughter introduced me to it. It's absolutely delicious. It might sound strange, but it's one of the nicest breakfasts that you can have. It is home. I make all my own bread, so it's toast from homemade bread, covered in Greek yogurt, with a poached egg on top, half an avocado chopped up, and then she puts a little bit of paprika and chili powder in a small amount of butter that she then drizzles over the top of the egg. It is delicious. It's amazing. So I'll just repeat that again. So it's a round of toast with 1 poached egg on it. Instead of using butter on the toast, you use Greek yogurt, and a live Greek yogurt with no sweeteners in. Half an avocado, and then you melt some butter and add chili powder and paprika, and you drizzle that over the top of it all. It is fan-flipping-tastic. So just bear that in mind. That was a really good breakfast idea. So you've seen how I would put that together. So that gives you an idea of, you know, how you could create your own plan as well. You will also see in the, let me have a little look. Where have I gone on my Beachbody? If I go back into, just go back to programs, just because most of us find everything from in here. So I'm going to go back down to the nutrition center. You go into portion fix, and all of these have like sample meal plans with them. So I'm in program materials. Here you go, 7-day meal plan and a vegan meal plan here. Oh, I've shown you that already. So just make sure, you know, you're having a look at that. So again, it gives you really good ideas. But if you have a look through the programs, there are all sorts of different sample meal plans around and about. I've also got some myself if you want any more of them. But these, you know, I think it's up to you to find 2 or 3 meals that you can use as staples. You know, snacks are really easy to create. The welcome pack, the healthy recipes book that you get from me, that's in your emails, that will come through by email, that's got some healthy snack ideas as well. So make sure you're opening the emails that I send to you as well, because they have a lot of resources. There's a meal plan prep guide that comes out to you. So just make sure that you're looking at all of that, because that is also going to support you on your journey. I don't write those emails just to waste my time during the day. They're there really to serve you and to help you get the most out of your time with us here. So make sure that you are reading those emails and looking at those resources, because I do send you out a lot of stuff. So finally, I'm going to share the Mason tab thing that I did with you. Not the Mason tab, the Mason jars. Let me find it, see where I put it. Sorry, Beachbody. Just have to whiz down through my stuff here. Where have I put it? Challenge group. Sorry, showing you all my internal stuff here. Useful documents. My ebooks, and it was these are all the books that I've written, a lot of these come through to you in the Mason jars, in the emails that I send out. So here it is. I'm just going to make that bigger. So mix and match Mason jars. This is also uploaded to our file section in our group, so go and have a look for that, so you can download it yourself. So this is just like, it gives you tips. So what size is best for salads? How long will they last, etc.? How do you eat it? How do you prevent your salad from going soggy? How to make the salad last, etc., etc. Ingredients that last longer than others, ingredients which don't last so long, how to mix and match the ingredients, and then tells you what I bought, and then it's going to go through the various recipes and what you can add to these. Now, what you would do with something like this is you'd make your Mason jar, and you make sure, I mean, this is all explained in the instructions. You put your dressing in at the bottom, and then you put your protein on top of the dressing, because the protein is going to disintegrate the most slowly. You don't want to be putting your salad leaves and your greens on top of the dressing, because, you know, after day 3 it's going to be like a soggy mess. So you put your dressing in, then you put your proteins, then you put your crunchy vegetables in it, and then you top it with your salad. Now, you can either then, once you're ready to eat it, you can either then just unscrew the top and turn it upside down onto a bowl, and then obviously gravity is just going to make the dressing drizzle all over it. If you want to eat it out of the Mason jar, turn it upside down for a few minutes with the lid on before you decide to eat it, and then of course gravity is going to bring that dressing all the way down, so your salad leaves are going to get it as well, and then you can just turn it the right way up and start to eat it with the salad dressing on it. All these salad dressings are homemade salad dressings, so they're healthy. It tells you how to prepare it all. So make sure to have a look in the file section, because sorry, my screen is not fully sharing. That will share all of this with you, and it gives you some really good lunch ideas, or indeed, like, you know, easy meal ideas as well. I think when you've got things like quinoa and stuff, you can have vegetables in there. It's a really healthy way of just making sure you're ahead of the game. So I hope that's helped. Stop the share. If you've got any questions, obviously get back to me. This has contained loads of information, but I just want to share, it's sort of like the best tips to help you get the most out of it. Remember to open the emails that I'm sending to you, because they have so many resources in them. Don't allow yourself to get into the mindset that meal prep is not worth it. It is. It's going to save you time, it's going to save you money, it's going to save on wastage, and it's going to help you get your results faster. Because when you've got food available to eat and grab and go, you're not left thinking, oh, I'm starving, I'll just eat that quickly while I make something healthy. It's all arranged for you, so you can only benefit. There is no, apart from the fact you have to be disciplined to do it, and you do have to allocate some time to do your meal prep. Choose a time that suits best for you. You know, it might be at the weekend, it might be one evening after work, might be during a lunchtime if you work from home. You have to be disciplined in your approach to your wellness. All we can do is give you the resources and share how to find those resources. It's down to you ultimately to then put your meal prep together. The first time you do it, it might be, ooh, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, and it might take a bit longer, but I promise you, it's like anything. Before I started making kombucha, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be so hard. And it was just like, took me ages to make my first batch of kombucha because I was reading the instructions. It's just like, oh, now it's a doddle. It takes me like a 20th of the time it used to take me to make my first batch. Same applies to your meal planning and prepping. You'll also find that you find your favorite meals. So then they, you fill up your freezer, batch cook and fill up a freezer. When if you're cooking at night and you're just having one meal, make sure you cook enough so that you've got some leftovers for either the night before, night after, or for your lunch the next day, or freeze it. So always make sure, invest in a slow cooker. They're really cheap. I mean, at the supermarkets, you can get for about £12–15, particularly when they're on special offer. You don't need anything fancy. Mine cost me, I think, £12 from Tesco. It's lasted me years. I use it loads, particularly in the winter months. And I can do a huge batch. It cooks slowly through the day, so it's economically friendly or energetically friendly. And you come home and the house smells delicious, and you've got a really healthy meal there ready to go. But not only for that night, you've got meals stashed up for the future too. So take your meal prep seriously. It will help you get the best results. Absolutely. But any questions, just ask and I'll be happy to answer them for you.